Good morning, everyone. We will go ahead and get started here with our last Volusia Forever Advisory Committee year meeting of the year. We will start with roll call.
Jessica Gao.
Here.
Suzanne Schreiber. Kelly Frasca.
Here.
Gerald Fieser.
Here.
John Gamble.
Here.
Derek LaMontagne.
Here.
John Macaluso.
Here.
Wanda Van Dam.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Fantastic.
And one vacancy.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Just to start, in terms of public participation, I do not have any slips. If you would like to speak generally outside of an agenda item, you can come up and speak and we'll fill out a form. Otherwise, if you have a form and you'd like to speak, just coordinate with staff on that and we will get you up here for 3 minutes. The first item on the agenda is review and approval of the October 24th, 2025 meeting minutes. Everyone had a chance to review. If we have any comments, or we'll entertain a motion.
I'll move we accept the minutes as presented.
Second. I'll second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second for those minutes. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Perfect. All right, and then we have one item of old business, which is our July meeting date. I think we had some conflicts with the proposed July, so the proposed is July 24th. I think we just need general discussion and to identify if that works for the committee in general.
Yes, so this is Ashlyn. So whenever I sent out the dates, everybody that corresponded with me with the dates that I presented, everybody seemed that July 24th was okay.
Perfect.
So I selected that date. So
Great. Perfect. Well, no action needed then, and just mark it on your calendars.
perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. And then we will quickly move into new business. So we have 2 items for eligibility, and then we have 3 rankings. So we will start with eligibility. Our first one is Little Hawk Creek.
Tim Telfer with Volusia Forever program. First item for your consideration this morning is a Little Hawk Creek application. This is a fee simple application. Staff scored it a 16 out of 21, with the minimum required is a 10 out of 21. Acreage is roughly 818 acres in size. It is within the Florida Wildlife Corridor area, and it is adjacent and contiguous with Hart Island Conservation Area and the Plum Creek Conservation Easement. We'll stand by for any questions.
Does anyone have any questions for staff on this one? It's a beautiful property. All right. Seeing no questions, do we have a motion?
Move to make this eligible.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second? All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that is found eligible. We'll move on to Lake Winona.
Good morning, everyone. Hunter Falmer, Chief of Land Management. Our next property is the Lake Winona Road. This application is an ag easement. Staff scored this 13 out of 19 out of the required 9. It's 115 acres, and it is also adjacent to Hart Island and within Wildlife Corridor. Take any questions.
Questions for staff on this one?
I move to motion to make Lake Winona Road eligible.
All right,
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? No. Seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Perfect. That one is also found eligible. Fantastic sites here. Then we will move into rankings.
Okay, so the first item for your consideration was found eligible at a previous meeting. This is the Botts Landing project. It's been submitted to Volusia County as a fee simple application, 62 acres in size. Staff had it scored as a 10 out of 21 with a minimum required score of 10. We don't have any matching funds identified at this time, and its attributes are, it is within the Wildlife Corridor in the Natural Resources Management Area.
Questions for staff on this ranking or comments? So do you have any questions for staff or comments on this site before we move to a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to make a comment on this property because I know last time when we talked about it, there seemed to be a little apprehension what this was. And I guess because I wear two hats here in the county, both on Echo and Forever, and after what we've been going through with Echo on the properties or what the survey that was sent out, and the number one thing on there was people want access to nature. And basically I took that as parks. They want a place to get out and get away from their cell phones and electronic devices. This is out there where the county and the city of DeLand are, because it's in the rail, where the rail station is a lot of active and a lot of growth going on. That whole area is being covered up with houses right now. Yet I've seen no parks planned or anything for that area. And I don't know how to do this. This is something new for me, but this is a project that probably should go before Echo and Forever, because half of it is environmentally property. I would not be surprised one day if there's other parcels that might come to available that would allow river access from this parcel. Yet there's also an area to have a very active park. And so I don't know how to go about that. I mean, I would make a motion that we put it, on our list, subject to it going before Echo, because it should be a joint project, like several of the other projects we're looking at, like Talmadge Gardens and the piece out in the center part of the county with the motocross track. And so I would ask staff, what would be the proper motion to make that where it would go before both entities, or how would we do that?
The motion today should be for eligibility for Volusia Forever only. If this were to be an ECHO project, it would need to be submitted through the ECHO program process.
Now who would submit that to the ECHO process?
If it is a nonprofit or a municipality, they can submit that through ECHO. If it is a county owned already, that could be considered a direct county expenditure project.
So we would need to buy it first through through Forever, and then go from there on down through the other entities, Echo or what you're saying. We have to start the ball rolling here then.
Right. Well, there's a couple pathways through ECHO. One is the acquisition side through ECHO, where it's a direct acquisition. Two is the amenity side through ECHO, where it's a county-owned property already, and ECHO pays for the amenities on the property.
So if we wanted to find this on the A list, because we're sorting today, it's found eligible, just A or B. I don't know that we can legally condition it, but I think that we could state to staff strongly that we think this would be a great joint partnership to review as you look through the potential funding partnership options.
Well, Madam Chairman, I would move that we put this on the A list.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second for the A list?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Further discussion on that ranking? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that will be found on the A list. And as noted, we think it would be a great partnership with our ECHO friends.
See where it goes.
Absolutely.
Okay, the next property for ranking is going to be the Wiregrass Inn Holding. This is proposed fee simple. It's 10 acres in size. This was ranked 12 out of 21 out of the required 10. We have identified no matching funds, and it is also within the wildlife corridor and surrounded by Wiregrass Prairie Preserve.
Any questions for staff or comments on this one? Seeing none, we will entertain a motion.
I move we place this on the A list.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to designate this as the A list. Any further comments? No. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That will also be found on the A list.
Final project for ranking is the Crude Ag LLC project. This would be a fee simple acquisition, approximately 261 acres in size. Staff had scored it 11 out of 21 with a minimum required score of 10. We do think we have some potential matching funds with the St. Johns River Water Management District here. Attributes, it is within the eco area, and it is also within the Florida Wildlife Corridor.
Questions or comments for staff?
Yeah, can you explain a bit more about what this Water Management District said, I guess, or how that communication's going?
Well, in general, when we reach out to the waterfront, or pardon me, when we reach out to the St. Johns River Water Management District, they've let us know that they're looking for certain types of properties to partner on. So that is expansion of their existing preserve areas. You saw Little Haw earlier. Little Haw is something we've already had some discussions with the Water Management District on. It makes a lot of sense for them to engage with us in a partnership, as well as all these waterfront areas. These waterfront areas fit their core mission of protecting the what I would just call the waters of Florida. It's particularly Northeast Florida, the St. John. So it's a core mission fit for them. They think there's a lot of potential for them to get engaged also.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to place Crude Ag LLC on the A list.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Not seeing any further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we have 3 new A-list properties. Thank you, everyone. That will shift us into staff comments and property updates.
Okay, we've got some quick updates for you this morning. First, I'll start with the McMillan agricultural easement. This was approved by the county council for closing on that easement. It was also approved as a partnership with the St. Johns River Water Management District by their governing board this past Tuesday. So we now initiate the closing process, which for us means that we are going to get a Phase 1 environmental assessment and a survey done that will move towards the closing table as soon as those documents come in. The next one that I'll bring to your attention, if you recall, the Triple T Ranch property, a little bit east of Wiregrass Preserve. This was a piece of property that's been in our system for roughly, I would say, about 18 to 24 months. We have had continuous dialogue with the owner. He's come in and indicated to us that he's ready to move forward at this time. He does have some deal terms that we need to discuss internally, but it does have some forward momentum, and so we'll see how those conversations go. I'll slow down a little bit so folks can catch up. The next one that I'm going to bring up is Tomoka Farms. So I was in Tallahassee yesterday at the Acquisition and Restoration Council meeting. I presented this to the ARC staff. That is one of the first steps in expanding the Volusia Conservation Corridor to also include this property. Significant for this property is that 2/3 of it is encumbered by that O-to-O boundary that we've discussed in the past. That opens up another funding route through DEP. So it was reviewed by the ARC staff yesterday. We've got a process where it now needs to go before the governor and cabinet in March to be formally listed. After that, we'll start discussions with the owners about the acquisition and present it to the county council as soon as we can, hopefully with a partnership with DEP. The next one that I'll bring forward is the Bennett Road project. Just a quick update on that Bennett Road. So this is an agricultural easement, and we are in communication with the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. This is the Rural and Family Lands Protection Program on a partnership. The first step is to present memorandum of agreement to the county council. So we're working on that behind the scenes right now. You'll see that go in front of the county council in the upcoming weeks, hopefully, maybe months. But that's the first step in our partnership with FDACS. And right now we're proposing a 50-50 cost split on this agricultural easement. Next one is going to be the Lafitte project. So this is actually, it's going to be complicated to bring up on the maps, but it's actually 4 ownerships that are essentially family members, all contiguous property. We continue to have dialogue with the owners on this. We are in the appraisal stage right now. We've agreed to some conservation easement terms. That draft easement has been turned over to the appraisers. We're in the appraisal process right now. When those documents come in, we'll reapproach the owners and consider making an offer on that one. And then the final one I'll present for an update is going to be the Riverbend project, southern Volusia County. So we've seen this one in the past. It was before you a couple of years ago. It's now returned through. There is still an interest in working with the Volusia Forever program, so we've initiated appraisals on this one also. As you'll notice, this has frontage on the St. Johns River. It's also a fit for the St. Johns River Water Management District. So as part of that appraisal process, they've identified some wetlands on there that they think fits their core mission. So we have a separate breakout value in the appraisal for there to bring their dollars in. We've also had some discussions with Ducks Unlimited to see if we can bring in what we call a NAWCA grant, North American Wetland Conservation Act grant. It's a federal grant that Ducks Unlimited has a great record with. And as long as we can get that documentation to them, we think that that is a potential funding source for this project also. So that's the extent of my updates today, but happy to answer any questions you may have.
Before we go to questions, I just want to note that I have heard from many people, including those in Tallahassee, that they greatly appreciate Volusia County staff for always being present for meetings like the art committee. So I want to thank you guys for all the work you do, and just noting that we talked last time about funding sources and kind of the lack of stability, I think, at the state level right now in terms of where that is. And so it's great to see that you guys are already looking at partnerships and different funding sources. So.
Yeah, just to follow up on that, I'm going to express to this advisory committee that we are going to keep trying. I mean, it's a complicated partnership world out there, but we keep pushing forward and try to bring these outside dollars in to the extent we're told not to.
All right, other questions or comments for staff? Absolutely.
Yes, the Lake Moore property out here, the city of DeLand is supposed to be putting in the parking corral and the amenities and the trails, correct?
Correct.
What is their timeline? Do we have a timeline yet for it, Nick? I know we talked earlier, but
No, we'll be talking to the city to get a accurate timeline, but the management plan is complete and there will be public access to that property.
do you think they'll have something by our next meeting?
I'll have to talk to the city on
Yeah,
their
we put a little
timeline.
fire under them a little bit out there because that's been going on. It's looking bad. The property, I mean, it's kind of growing up where the entrance was. Yeah, the sign's out there, and the sign's have been there for a long time, and I get questions. It's like, when are you going to do something with it? Well, I'll find out. So that's what we're trying to do today, is find out when is this going to move on and get it open up to the public. I think they're going to have those subdivisions that looks like built before they ever get the trail put in. So DeLand needs to step up and get it going. Thank you.
All right, any other comments or questions to staff? No? All right, before we switch over to advisory committee comments, I did get a request for public comment, so we'll have Jim Chapin come up with FWC. You have 3 minutes.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, I won't take too much of your time. Just wanted to walk in this morning and say hello. I'm with the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. I'm also a Volusia County resident and grew up here as well. But I just mostly wanted to express that our support within my particular team in FWC, the Office of Conservation Planning Services, that we just are, consistently impressed with what Volusia Forever is doing, and to the extent possible, to the extent that I can supply support or technical advice on any front, we're always willing to do so. But mostly just here to kind of listen and see how this all comes together this morning. But yeah, just a word of appreciation, and also again, we're here to help in any way, shape, or form. But y'all are doing an excellent job.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. All right, we will shift to advisory committee comments. Any comments? Wanda?
A question, if I could. The first 2 properties that we had today, the new ones, why are we not moving on to the sorting today? Is that something that the property owner has to specifically approve ahead of time, or because I thought that was the goal in trying to move these forward faster?
So I describe it as a case-by-case basis. We do bring it up with certain projects. We know time is of the essence. If there's not a measure of haste involved on the ownership side, we do like to take our time and make sure these things are properly processed here, and everybody has time to kind of let it resonate in. But if there is feedback from the owners that it is imperative that we move quickly, we still have that option.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Other questions or comments by the team? Absolutely.
Yeah, I would encourage this group here, if you have not been listening to any of the county council meetings, the last couple, I would encourage you to go to YouTube and listen to some of the comments, especially as it concerns Volusia Forever. I found it very troubling listening to what some of our council people are talking about. I found it, I kind of felt after listening to it that I'm somewhat wasting my time sitting here. I think it would be nice, and hopefully the council the first year will figure out how they want to go with it. But it's somewhat troubling, and so maybe those of you in the areas where some of these council members live may need to have a discussion. I know I've reached out to mine. I've not heard back from him yet, so I guess he really values my opinion. But nonetheless, something, if you have nothing else to do, listen to the audio of the meetings.
And I do agree. I think that voicing our support of the program and kind of what has been accomplished by staff and the whole county team under this program is a great reminder, especially at year end for those who appointed you to the board, if you have the time and inclination.
Oh, yeah, thank you for bringing that up. And yeah, I haven't watched through all the meetings, but yeah, I definitely will check that out. And I hope, yeah, again, there's continued support for this program, and I appreciate everyone's participation, and of course the staff are doing a great job. But yeah, I guess maybe I should have brought this up during staff comments if I had a couple questions. I hope that's maybe okay. But perhaps can you, anyone on staff, again, this is kind of a question I've received, confirm which properties, and I guess you maybe can't list all of them, that are perhaps getting access for the current bear hunt that's going on. Is anyone here eligible or able to kind of explain which areas those are taking place in?
Yeah, we have various properties throughout our conservation lands where hunting is allowed. The Lake George Forest and WMA is one of those properties that is eligible for the bear hunt through the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. We also have two other properties where the leases are on Longleaf Pine Preserve, a portion of Longleaf Pine Preserve, and a portion of Deep Creek Preserve where hunting is allowed as well.
Okay, and is staff being informed about, like, if someone is, using one of their licenses, I think that they have to get for that, or is Volusia County being informed, or is that kind of kept on the state level, I guess?
That's at the state level. We don't receive notifications of individual permits.
Okay, thank you very much. And I might have, just one other question, and this is totally unrelated, I guess, but when we receive our emails for the meetings, there's always like a restriction placed on it. I guess everyone gets those through the little link secure. I was just wondering why we do that. I mean, these are public documents, right? So, I mean, it's just an extra step, and it's kind of at least for me, I'd rather it just be sent as a PDF or whatever. I mean, instead of having to log in and like get a passcode. And I mean, it is public record accessible, right? These aren't secret meeting agendas.
I think they're usually too large to
Yeah.
send over email.
Yeah, if you're referring to BizComp, it's just because of the size of the PDF. We have to transmit it outside of the email system.
That's why, okay. I just didn't know if there was some other reason, but okay, that's, I think, all my comments. So again, thank you, everyone.
And if I may, all those documents are also available online at the Volusia Forever website. So the public has the same packet that you guys get when it goes out.
Thank you.
I'm reading right off of the minutes from last meeting. Mike Ponitonsky from Tomoka Farms Villages described the 96-acre environmentally sensitive property in Port Orange and explained that there was currently a contract for purchase by a developer to construct 135 homes. He said that Tomoka Farms Villages was working with the current owner to get permission to bring the property to the Volusia Forever Committee for Preservation. Has anything happened with that? Have you been notified at all?
No, I have not.
Okay. Thank you.
Question, Suzanne? Yep.
So two of our fellow members here commented on the Volusia County Council meeting. It's actually some of those comments that you're referring to have been going on for a few meetings. I am just going to be a little more direct here to get this on public record. there's been discussion concerning wanting less than 50% of land conservation, which is staff's goal. There has been discussion on not wanting land kept in perpetuity. There has been discussion on possibly not wanting matching funds, and most recently discussion on whether to bond or not. So I have watched those meetings. They are concerning. And I just wanted to spell out I do encourage everyone to go back and watch the meetings for sure, but I wanted to spell out on public record what has been discussed so far. So thank you for bringing that up.
If I may, if the committee would like, we can provide some information on what the program has accomplished. We were already preparing this information for the annual report that's going to be coming in January, but we can get you that information if you would like to share it with your council members before that January meeting.
That would be fantastic, I think, to have.
I appreciate it. And I guess just to make sure, Suzanne or Mr. Dunham, if you can tell which meetings, because again, I'm not sure if these are agenda items, but if there is an agenda item for Volusia Forever, I guess I don't know if someone notifies us or this board, because I don't read every single agenda item on the county council's website. So if that comes up, can we be told? And also, I guess if there was some comments, again, if anyone can give direction on where to find those, because at the end of a meeting, if there's just council comments, then that's not on the agenda. It's easy to search for. So again, just for people looking to see where these things were said, to craft their response and message. If we can get those specifics on when those comments were made, that would appreciate. I'd appreciate that.
I'm just going to say, Nick will have his own answer, but they've been spread throughout meetings. I can't give you specifics. I will tell you that bonding was on the last agenda, but they have come up throughout for a few meetings now. So I'm sorry that I can't give you agenda item numbers, but
Understood. If it comes up as,
and I do want to make this clear so that it's not said that none of these things that I just stated have been discussed, have been voted on yet. I want to make that perfectly clear, because I don't want it said that I, crashed the program by saying they did these things. I want to make that perfectly clear. But they have been discussed. They have. And yes, it is concerning. It is. So, and I don't know, Nick, if you want to address agenda items or not, but that's up to you.
Well, I think that staff does try to give us a heads up when larger forever projects are going on the agenda if we want to be there for support. So.
Right, and we've had committee members show up to council meetings before when items are on the agenda, but all the agendas are posted on the Volusia County website for every council meeting. That you could always go in there and check the schedule and related to resource stewardship, and you can see any Volusia Forever item that is on the agenda for the upcoming meeting.
Thank you. Right. Other comments?
Yeah, I love the strategy of having multiple partners. Mm-hmm. And so when things get crazy in government with short-term elected officials, we don't do stupid stuff, because there's always another party or sometimes two parties. That's a great strategy. And if you guys need us to do something to endorse that or whatever, if the committee can, the advisory committee here can do something, I would more than entertain that, because I love what you guys have done. I thought it was pretty clear when the taxpayers voted for this that it was perpetuity. There wasn't any talking about limiting it. There was, and when you get that kind of 70% or whatever it was, which is really high, nothing gets voted on that well, especially when you're going to tax yourself. That's crazy good. And for people to be talking about that, they need to go back and look at what was approved. And, it just bugs the heck out of me that, oh my God, we can't You know, we need to be able to do this. We need to be able to do that. Well, that's not what the voters voted for. If you wanted that, run with it. You know, I mean, it just irritates. I can't even listen to it. I mean, other people obviously did, but they started talking about that. And I hope there's not 4 votes for that, because that would totally destroy what we're trying to do here. And I don't care whether there's a goal of 50% or 75% or 48%. Doesn't make any difference. We should spend every dollar that we're collecting as well as we can. And, you know, if bonding's the way to do it, bond it, you know, and do it. Let staff, who are the experts, handle it and keep it out of the political thing, because it's not a political deal. I mean, we're buying environmental land, and we're buying it so no one builds subdivisions on it, you know, 50 years from now. And that might piss people off that, oh, I can't ever have a house out there because the government owns that land. But by God, there's land like that all over this country, and it's a good thing. I mean, who would want to sell Yellowstone or the Tetons or something for subdivisions, eh? Would we do that? I don't know. In this crazy world, you never can tell. But I mean, I hope we never do, because those places are fantastic. So, enough said. So thank you.
I really appreciate that. I just wanted, I think you all know this. I know it doesn't even need to be said, but I want to say it. 3 times I've attended the Florida Wildlife Corridor Foundation Summit, and spread through a few years now, and through my own organization. And I have to tell you all, and you already know it and you're saying it, Volusia County has been the leaders of land conservation. And it's known at the Florida Wildlife Corridor Foundation meeting. They talk about it. They talk to me about it. They appreciate staff. They even have staff do presentations there. The respect has been incredible. And I think we all appreciate you and what you've done. And I just really want to thank you, because I think the program has done incredibly well. Have there been any types of blips here or there? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But I think that you are upholding the program as good as you can, and I really do appreciate that. And I think we all do. So,
Wanda.
Yeah, it's the actual number was 75.6% of the voting population voted for this. And I think we just need to keep doing what we've been doing, because staff has handled all of this very well. And I have no objections to, in our goals, just re-emphasizing the fact how committed we are as a group to this program, and that we want to continue to work it as we are. But other than that, it's 75.6% of the people that voted said this is a program they want. And it was presented to them without limitations except to the amount of money. So I think it's our responsibility to just move forward, put in front of them good properties, which we have been doing, and do what the people asked us to do.
Absolutely. All right. Any other comments from the yeah.
I'm sorry, one more thing. I happened to be at an event last night. Former state representative was there, and we were discussing conservation in general, and he also commented that Volusia County is known for leadership in all of this. So just, I think, kudos to you guys for the job you're doing.
Fantastic. Absolutely. I have one quick technical question and then a comment in line with kind of what's been discussed. My technical question is, when we're ranking properties, is there a way we could at least have the map series from the eligibility in the backup?
Yeah, I just had that discussion earlier in the next packet. When we're sorting, we'll throw a map in there for that property.
Perfect. That'd be great. And then my general, I think, final comment is one, I hope everyone has a fantastic holiday season. And as we go into the new year, we'll be looking at our goals, our master plan for the committee. I think this will continue to come up as a topic, especially as we go into an election year. I want to note that I think if anyone visits the dashboard or talks to our staff, the program speaks for itself. But sometimes things that should speak for themselves are not heard. So anything we can do to get that word out and kind of promote what this program is doing is absolutely fantastic. I will be doing so, and I hope you all do as well. And with that, happy holidays, and we are adjourned.
Thank you.